All right. Welcome to the Blood Lab. I'm Al. This is Marcus. We're welcoming our boys Rick and Sean. What's going on, fellas? Howdy. Chilling.
Welcome to the party, gentlemen.
All right.
Celebrating one of these days we call life.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. Well, speaking of everyday, day-to-day life, let's talk about those folks out in Maui and what's going on over there. I think I have one little clip to start things off with one of the residents there.
The police officer that was over there, he should be investigated. I was told by people who escaped there on foot that the officer had blocked the road. People could not get out. My brother literally had to go cut the chain off of the old sugar mill camp area to let people out at the top of Kilauea Mauka because the roads were all blocked because the police were blocking it. We want accountability. It needs to be investigated by a third party that is not associated with the government. I was blocked out several days. I could not come in. There was chaos. People was rioting. What's on those documents for FEMA? I'm an attorney myself. There's so many things that are questionable that has happened here. Right after that, the governor says, oh, I'm going to take the land. He's talking about the state wants to purchase all this land, that he should get this land. This land belongs to the people already.
Okay.
The government is liable for this, grossly negligent, at least if not criminally negligent. They should clean up all that land, restore that land to the people who own that because they failed.
Yes. Your thoughts, gentlemen? I'll start with you, Sean, since you're our newest guest.
I appreciate that. Oh, man. I mean, honestly, I've seen video after video and everybody's kind of echoing the same thing. You know, I mean, everybody that's over there knows that there's something that's going on. You know, and it's only a conspiracy theory for so long until it's proven true. And over time, we've had so many that have been. So, I mean, you know, how many times can it be a thing before it's really a thing? I don't know, man. Everybody's screaming the same thing and everybody really wants answers and we're not getting any. It's been 3 weeks after. They still don't know the body count. They still don't have totals. There's still a lot of missing children over there from what I'm hearing. So everybody wants answers, man. And it's all the locals and they definitely feel like they've been left out in the cold.
Rightfully so. And that thing that he said with the cops blocking him to get out and blocking other folks from getting out. My thing is this. If something is burning behind me, I can give a fuck what's standing in front of me. I'm going through you. Whether you're holding a badge or a rifle or a gun, if there's something burning behind me and you're trying to keep me from safety, well, you just fucked up. Knowing that the whole situation there's already fucked up, because all the houses that were covered in, is it blue or just the color blue? Because I want to get that clarified.
Specific shade. Do you know it, Sean?
From what I understand, they've done testing on the specific shade and it doesn't trigger on certain shades from what I've seen. It's not a material. It's actually a color. I don't know why. Probably having to do with photons and the light. Just there's certain, you know what I'm saying? As far as
even
light
recycling,
goes,
because even the recycling bins didn't burn. You see everything else.
Fabric, you saw the umbrellas. A lot of people have seen the pictures of the umbrellas, the Tommy Bahama umbrellas that are blue. But, you know, it's on the houses too. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that they're finding that are different materials and that same color, oddly enough, is what seems to be left over.
Which leads me to believe somebody knew this was coming on before it happened. And several folks were privy to that information to prepare for said event.
Well, and it makes you wonder too, like, were they not going to get the video or are we not going to see this? Maybe they just didn't plan for all these things to be left over that still have that same color. From what I understand, they're making it very hard to get video and any kind of evidence off of the island. They're being very watchful about who's going into these areas. So these are things that they may have, you know, just forgotten about. And now that they're starting to see them hit the internet, seeing them hit social media, seeing them go viral, they're starting to look at those things, perhaps.
Can I interject something right here? In this
by all means, you're next, Rick. What's going on?
Well, just saying it, moving that part of the conversation forward, something else that happens in these situations very often is a smoke screen, if you will. A lot of times they'll say, look at this over here, so we don't see what's over there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So using that starter logic, if you will. I don't know exactly what to believe. Something over the and I know Sean can definitely testify to some of the different things that I've said about this already, and over time is they're really good about making us think we got something figured out, and really they're making that what they want us to be the story. You know what I mean? So I'm getting to this sort of logic a lot lately of stop and sort of when you evaluate, don't necessarily look at it from a perspective like I know, because I'm not there, you're not there. And one thing I can say about Hawaii is this: regardless of what mainstream media says, regardless of what people are posting on the internet, try to talk to people from out there. My wife's all of her cousins and several other family members are all still there, right there in that valley. We have gotten confirmation that they are alive, but she has literally, through all the channels that we normally would communicate directly with them, have not been able to communicate with them. And that's one of the more spookier parts for me about it, is that a friend of a family member confirmed to one of our other family members that they are alive. Okay.
But it's
I don't
not
want to call
directly from
anybody
them.
a liar, but I haven't seen any direct evidence, and I haven't talked to anyone over there. I only know what the news is trying to tell me. And I know I'm getting one extreme lie this way and another conspiracy theory based reasoning on the other side. So I'm trying to find a good middle on it. So I'm really withholding a lot of judgment so far. But like maybe this whole like blue color blue thing is all BS. Like maybe they're and it's supposed to be evidence. What that's supposed to be evidence to is a direct energy weapon. So I don't want to be devil's advocate, because I'm the first one to be like, yeah, that's probably what's going on. But at the same time, my new sort of look at things, the way things have been going over the last 2 years, is to like overanalyze it a little bit more. Is this the lie they want us perpetrating ourselves?
Well, and if I could, gentlemen, just for 1 second, just to piggyback off of that.
Oh, please
honestly,
do.
Yeah. If you see something that's kind of that open secret that we're all starting to see, it's time to be cautious, I think. I think that if it's something that's supposed to still remain hidden to the public, to the masses, and the masses are starting to see it, be cautious of it, because there is a time where all of these things are going to come to light, granted, but at the same time, we're starting to see more and more of that fed to us. You know, a lot of... And I don't want to sidestep and get onto different issues, but like with the disclosure, with the aliens and stuff, when they spoon feed you all of these things, and it's coming from these people that we know are problematic, then we really need to look at the facts that we're being given and that are being admitted to. I mean, you sit here and talk about the whole thing with Hawaii and, you know, all the relief. And yes, I mean, it's terrible for the people over there. We need that relief. But when we're getting requests from Oprah and The Rock to send millions of dollars, you got to really start looking at like why they're looking at that money. Like, what are you doing?
And I'm glad you mentioned those two names, because when people like The Rock and Oprah are asking you for money, ladies and gentlemen, don't give them a fucking dime. All right? Oprah's a fucking pedophile, and The Rock is right there with it. So for those that don't want to hear or believe that, hey, you know, do you, boo. That's all I can say to you. But I'm letting you know that Oprah's a fucking pedophile. The Rock is a pedophile. They've openly thrown this in your face plenty of times. So if they're asking for money, you just basically go fuck themselves.
Yeah, the fact that it was those two was very telling.
Yeah, so like if Oprah or The Rock are asking for money, feel free to tell them to go fuck themselves. You know, knowing what we know about those motherfuckers, I wouldn't give them a dime. If they were on fire and I had to take a monster piss, I wouldn't put them out with my own piss. I would watch those motherfuckers burn. But I digress. You were saying, Sean?
Oh, no, the fact that those two are involved at all is very telling. There's a lot of people that we've seen, you know, are the forefront of a lot of these, you know, kind of suspect kind of things going on. And it's time and time again, you see them, and you see them being the ones that the talking heads just, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Those two? Yeah, them two especially.
For damn sure.
And, you know, there's a good chance that a lot of those personalities have already been hijacked. How many times do you actually see them in person? We know with the way AI is and how deep state things work, a lot of these so-called celebrities, actors, sports stars, Hamlin, things happen where all of a sudden they become very driven and pointed in a direction. I can say politically charged as a word, but I don't want it to get caught up in just politics, because it's not really just politics. It's across the board in all of these places that we're talking about. And it's
exactly.
Influence position. It's all, opiates for the masses and direction for the masses. So I think it's very important for us when we do talk about such things as that. It's important to point out that a lot of the celebrities are who we think they are. So when they're asking you for money, they're not just asking you for money. They're trying to appease to your emotion and trying to get not just your money out of you. They want your follow. Church asks you.
They want your everything.
They want your.
I won't say. I'll throw the soul in there, but it's easy just to say they want your everything when they're asking for these things. And so yeah, you were asking, Marcus.
About Hawaii. They want the land.
They care about it because they want it for a reason.
Yeah.
No, that's my thing. Is I have more questions than answers regarding everything. And I agree with you guys' sentiments, as far as what y'all have said, but what's the agenda though? What's the goal, the end game for what, you know what I mean? What are they trying to do?
I'll tell you what
trying to pull off.
I think, Sean, you'll probably be able to elaborate on this a little bit more, but what they've been working on for some time there, and we heard about this personally within the family before, is that they're building this smart town there, and Sean can give you probably some better technical specifics.
Oh,
they need this land for this smart cell for one of the largest companies in the entire world that's part of the devil system, and long story short, they've been trying to get the land, and the locals there, the native Hawaiians, will not sell the land. So that's where, they're making fun of it on the internet with the memes. And me, I play along with memes. I laugh at everything.
Of
but
course.
If I'm being serious for a minute, what that's touching on is Oprah and them have been trying to buy this land, and the locals wouldn't let them have it. And if they burn them out, well, what do you think is happening? You know what I mean? Now, so Sean, you want to get a little more specific?
Yeah, no, basically you're nailing the head. There was a story a long time ago when Zuckerberg bought all that land over there. He was getting no end of shit from the islanders over there, the natives, because of the fact that was kind of the icing on the cake. He bought X amount of acreage, but they were pissed, and they were tired of people coming over and invading the island and taking it for themselves and leaving nothing to the natives. It's been happening for years and years and years. It happens everywhere. It happens everywhere. We took over the entire continent of Africa for their diamonds, for their manganese, for everything, and we left them nothing. We leave them to rot, and it's terrible. So we're now doing that to our own states, like Hawaii, because they want the land over there. They wanted the land to the point that you were making. Yes, Maui is planning a green smart city. And in order to do it, they need that land. The natives won't sell. They don't want the intrusion. So they're making it to the point where you don't have to sell. We're going to take it under FEMA. We're going to take it back. We're going to give it to the government, and we're going to sell it to whoever's going to bid on it. They do this time and time again through different methods. They do it in the inner city through all kinds of just violence and bullshit.
Drugs.
They do it. They do it. They do it through drugs. They inserted drugs into the inner city to ruin those areas and to bring the rent down. And then they come in, they buy the tenements and they buy the buildings and they turn them into condos. They've been doing this for a long time. Look at back during the Obama administration. The part of it, the tip of the iceberg that we saw was when they were taking all that land under the Department of Home. The Bureau of Home? I don't know, but they were taking all that land in Montana and shit, all that farmland. And the Bundys got pissed and fought back. And Papa Bundy got shot. Remember all that? They were trying to take that farmland, and they were refusing to give up their farmland. They went up there, and the government started. That's when all that shit started talking about domestic terrorism, and anybody that is a patriot needs to be watched out. They started adding patriot to, people that need to be watched on the internet and shit.
Wow.
It's been happening for years, just under different guises.
Well,
And again, like you said, to piggyback with you, this has been going on forever and a day.
Yes, sir.
Especially here in America when it comes to black folks. All those places I told you, Marcus, that they turned into lakes or to parks. You know, I like how New Yorkers like to say, "Oh, I won't move down south because those motherfuckers are too racist." No. Don't forget about the shit that happened up here. You know, Central Park is a prime example. Where is that? Central Park is not down south. That's in the heart of fucking New York. That was a thriving black community. What did they do? They sent the night guys in there, bum rushed everybody out, burnt them out, or killed them. Oh yeah, we need a whole big park right here in the middle of the city. For what? Not a goddamn thing. And the thing you're saying about other countries, the United States sent the Marines to Haiti to rob Haiti of all the gold in all their banks to destabilize that country. Okay? Not only that, you know, I forget the material. I don't want to say it's not vibranium, but it's because, you know, vibranium is not real, but I forget the material.
Yeah.
They're trying to take that out of Haiti without the people's permission. They got their ships parked in Haiti right now. And when the people are asking them, what are you doing here? They tell the people, go ask your government. That is their answer to them. Go ask your government.
You can literally look it up. She sold the rights to the mining of Haiti to her brother, Roger Clinton. He got all the rights to their mining. And that's when they got all the precious metals and everything.
So they've been doing this shit forever, brother. Forever. But you know what? You know, if things are going to be good and made right, they're going to get theirs in the end. In the end, they'll get theirs because we outnumber those motherfuckers. And there's got to be one day when everybody finally wakes the fuck up. I can only hope for that motherfucking day. But go ahead, Sean.
Well, in the meantime, it's unfortunate too. I was on Facebook the other day and I saw some comments regarding the Ukrainian situation. And it was somebody that didn't live here. And the comment that I read was, oh, something about the U.S., you'll get what's coming for you. And there was a bunch of people commenting from the U.S. like, hey, man, listen, none of us want this is the problem. But it's painting us as these shitty people all around the world, no matter where we go, dirty Americans and scumbag and ignorant Americans. And I will say, most of us, when we go to these places, we don't bother to learn the culture. We don't give a shit about that. There are a few of us that do.
Where's the McDonald's is basically what they go ask for.
Exactly. But I will say that this is not helping with the fact that they tie us to what our government's doing. And it's more and more nowadays that we disagree and are just repulsed by what our government's doing in truth.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
But that's
disgusting.
the perception, though. That's the American perception around the world. Is like what the government does. Is, it seems like we all co-sign it.
We spent 70 years Americanizing the entire globe. I mean, like, and that definitely rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. You know, I give 50-50 on this subject because look, at the end of the day, bad exists everywhere. I know it. Bad exists everywhere. Good exists everywhere. There's angels in everything every type of person you meet, and devils in every type of person you meet. What boils down to at the end of the day is more people be culturally accepting, like where we, instead of trying to tell, because everybody, like, it's sort of like how my theory on when it comes to raising kids, right? We try to tell everybody and wake them up, but instead you have to influence them, which is you have to give people the right sort of information that makes them dig and go down their own rabbit holes so they develop their own opinion and see certain truths that aren't necessarily there. And it sort of, it applies across the board with all of this. I think we're getting an opportunity because of the Americanization that has happened around the globe, though, for us to be able to communicate. And because when we couldn't communicate as fast as we do to have access, their only defense against our access to information is polluting us with bad information.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the only defense that they have is like we can find out really fucked up bad shit happening that we didn't know about. Let's just go to our time, guys, right? The 80s and 90s and let's say early 2000s, before cameras and the internet was in everybody's hand. Okay. Just that small little period. Look at like Somalia and Benghazi and several other events and elements that if we had the information as fast as we do now, we could do a better job forming the opinions among the people to not support what our government is doing the correct way.
Oh, absolutely.
What I mean? And a big part of that is going to come from two things. And a big part of it is like the four of us and all of our different backgrounds and where we come from and who we are as people. It's these type of interactions becoming what is the norm, which is fuck their bullshit and what they're telling us to do and how we're supposed to feel and what we're supposed to think and influence others to just help the guy sitting next to you. And don't listen to what these motherfuckers are trying to get our okay with, because it starts with that.
Yep.
All right, people talk about boycotting a fucking company like Bud Light or a company like Disney or whatever, or SeaWorld, because they have too many animals in bad situations, things like that. You can unite people on these type of fronts so easily. You know how hard it would be? It would be hard, yes, but how easy it would be after that to make people see, don't everyone go vote and see how many fake fucking votes there really are.
Oh, absolutely.
If we by the billions in America didn't go vote on Super Tuesday and blah, 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 just to prove the point that your system is rigged, you know how many people that would wake up?
You know what we're lacking in that, though? You know the biggest thing we're lacking in that, though? Leadership. There's not enough people that want to claim that spot to lead us there, right?
They killed leaders.
Yeah.
That's the
thing.
Wrap
It scared everybody else away.
Yes, it does. It does. And to wrap it
And
up,
then they hijack things like this.
Well, and that's the thing. We need to realize
sure.
that for the longest time, we're being tied into the fact of what our country does. And I hate to say it, but at what point are they not right? Because in essence, it can only go on as long as we allow it to. Nobody else can come in and change things. And the ignorance that's built up here has allowed this thing to fester to the point where they used to go to war over tea. And now they can sit here and tell us that they're tapping our phones, they're tapping our computers, they're taking our land, they don't give a shit about us. They can literally tell us that and spit in our faces. And we'll sit here and be like, they do take care of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we do. Basically, we've, not us in particular, but this country has gotten the world to believe that there's actually a democracy. There is no democracy, you know? Yeah, but just to wrap things up, everyone believes that there's a democracy when there isn't. When people actually wake up and realize that and understand how we together are the majority, then we'll see some change. But the more we try to enlighten folks and the more they see a leader in somebody, the quicker they'll be to unalive that motherfucker too. So that's another reason why probably somebody doesn't want to step up. But we can only hope that somebody does. Yeah. I can't say it can be me, because, they'll take my ass out quick and in a hurry.
And that's the thing too. I think there's a plan in place to where they know that people are going to fight back, and they already have like that kind of sidestep.
The Matrix.
Oh yeah,
just like the Matrix.
From what I read, and again, we'll go down that path. I read that when they brought Barack Obama in, and Barack Obama was already one of them. Like, he came from nowhere and he got brought up. He was already one of them. But all the same, I heard that as soon as he got voted in, they brought him into the office. They made him watch the Zapruder film where they shot JFK in the neck, and they made him watch it time and time. They made him watch it over and over and over again, and he folded and he said, "I'll do whatever you want because I know that you can do whatever you want."
And that's a goddamn shit. Gentlemen, let's talk football. Let's talk some foot.
Man, do we have to? Rough week.
My brother, it's been rough on so many levels. Marcus is the new guy, the rookie to the fantasy league. I've been playing with these guys for 2 years. These two are the vets. My first year, I had a good year up until the playoffs. My guys just decided to disappear when it meant the most. They basically Tony Romo'd me. That's exactly what they did to me. They Tony Romo'd me. And
when we did the format like that, where we only had 1 week in the playoffs, and the Super Bowl was right there at the end. So there's so many guys benched. That's why I really like these double week rounds.
Yeah.
And Marcus, man, it'll probably get better for you. I mean, you got good players. I mean,
nah, man, it's just nobody decided to play well. Like everybody that I had on the team, It is what it is, though. I feel good about the team going forward. It was just a rough week all around.
Yep. Who took Patrick Mahomes?
That would be Clifford. Allen and Carla.
Did Clifford
Cliff.
Yeah,
so Cliff
I think Clifford's got Mahomes.
So Cliff didn't believe that I know how to do voodoo, huh? So Cliff is willing to live life with a small peepee.
Cliff played very well yesterday. I mean, I'll give him my break. Cliff's team played very well. Came real early, real strong. So did Matt.
Yes.
I was a little nervous at first. It kept putting Quentin over the top of me. But what happened though was 425 happened. And you know what happened at 425? The South Beach boys showed up in California and they just wrecked shop on them Chargers. I mean, I'm not saying the Chargers didn't lose the point. But
I want to add one thing, though. I want to say one thing. Miami played fantastic, and I think the sky's the limit as long as Tua's healthy.
Yes.
The Chargers, though,
on
paper, they look fantastic. They never
they played a great team.
They did. The offense played good. Their defense is like
the Chargers lost because Tua marched down that fucking field and Patrick Mahomes them. And then even though they failed all day long, the last 2 drives, the defense stopped them. And they went in and blitzed them on every fucking play and stopped her. But otherwise, the Chargers look great.
No, Miami did their thing. There's no doubt about it. Like, they won that game. Well, but when I look at the Chargers, it's like there's something... It just seems like there's something missing with them. I don't know what it is.
Is it coaching? Because I got to tell you, what's the kid's name? Herbert?
They got talent everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I got one of their receivers. At least he got me some kind of fucking points.
I've heard Herbert hasn't gelled as a leader in the locker room. I have heard those.
Okay.
I get that. Makes sense. That makes sense.
I get that.
Because you see how motherfuckers don't want to play for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, similar, kind of like that. I think Kurt, there's a level of disrespect involved. I think it's not really like that with Herbert yet. It's more
I hope not.
He hasn't made the connections yet.
Yeah, I can see that.
How long has he been in? 2 years, right?
Same as Tua. They were drafted 1-2. Not number 1 and number 2, but they were drafted back to back. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
and guys love
Joe Burrow. This is year 4 for these guys, isn't it?
Number 3.
Is it 3? Yeah, 3. Here's 3. Okay. Yeah, they all came in.
That's got to be Herbert, man.
Burrow.
It's got to be Herbert because everybody likes Joe Burrow. Everybody likes Tua.
That was the thing when he was coming out of college too. Like they were like, I don't know. Maybe he's just like a shy guy, or maybe he's not like a vocal leader.
Not a leader.
But
I mean,
who's your team, Sean?
Go ahead.
I don't know. Who's your team?
Oh, you won't hear me talk much. I'm a Raiders fan. I learned to shut my mouth when people start talking football a long time ago.
Man.
No, I mean, like, I still like them now that they're in Vegas. It's hard to follow. I haven't followed in a long time, so I know, it's like I watch the highlights and I'll see and I'll keep in tune with what's going on my team, but it's hard to follow, man. I lived in Kansas City. I lived in Kansas City for 9 years, and I went out there, and people were like, "Oh, who's your team?" And I would tell them, Raiders, and get out, right out of here.
That's a big rivalry, Kansas City and the Raiders.
Yeah,
that's a very big rivalry.
I couldn't talk about my team. Yeah. I was like, "Well, we're not going to talk about it. I'll just leave it to you."
I'm surprised you didn't get beat up for saying you were a Raider fan out there, buddy.
That being said, the Chiefs have a great team, and I will say, Arrowhead is one of the best stadiums. Like the games are incredible. It's one of the loudest stadiums in the entire U.S.
Oh, I bet.
The games are insane. Chiefs have a great team.
Don't be ashamed of being a Raider.
No.
Two, the Hall of Fame runs through Oakland. You know, John Madden, Bo Jackson. So
Absolutely,
never be ashamed of being a Raider, bro.
Marcus
never be
Allen.
ashamed of that.
Absolutely, yes. And it's
Tim
always,
Brown.
My bad,
been a
Marcus
hometown-
Allen.
It's always
Yeah,
been a
Tim
hometown
Brown.
team there. It was always hometown for me. So when they moved on from the hometown, it was kind of like, okay, well, I'll let them do their thing now. Whereas before I was like, hey man, you know, you can't talk it out of me. You can't talk it out of me. Now it's harder for me to stick to my guns and be like, hey man, that's my team. When they're like, well,
Amen.
are they in Vegas? And I'm like, yeah, I've never even been to Vegas. So that's a stretch for me.
Well,
But
Yeah.
We got to plan a trip. But it's like me.
Absolutely.
I'm a New York Giant fan, but I lived in Florida for 23 years. So
Nice.
I like Tampa and I love Miami. Now Jacksonville, they can suck a dick. You know, I hate
I always grab
Jacksonville.
that
I
one.
like-
I'm like, I'm not
I
gonna
like
like all
this
the Florida teams,
Jacksonville.
but I'll grab one.
I like
Look,
this
it- I-
Jacksonville team, though. I love Trevor
Marcus-
Lawrence, man.
Marcus,
I
I
think
don't
Trevor
have-
Lawrence is fantastic.
I do too. I love the hair.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. My thing is,
he's a beast, man.
Marcus, you were there at that Jacksonville game with me.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I've told people this story, and sometimes when I
But that
look at
was just
people's
like
faces,
That was
it
just
was
too...
the whole fucking section, bro.
No, but I'm saying they all relaxed, though. Once
Yeah,
the
after I
threat
had to
was
threaten
made,
everybody.
Yeah, the,
Sean,
the
I
threat
had
was
to-
made. Everything
I
relaxed.
threatened everybody's life in our section. Everybody. And Sean,
You gotta do it, man.
on top of that, me, Marcus, and one other dude, we were the only brothers in that section. We did this in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Everybody just sat
Sean,
down there.
This
Hey,
was our
Sean.
very
I looked at Junior. I was like, well, I guess we're fighting today, bro. Once the house started, I was like, we're gonna fight. I'm ready. Yeah, I don't care.
and Sean.
Yeah, whatever.
When we
This
got to
house.
Jacksonville, we literally stepped out of our vehicle and the shit began. Okay?
Right.
It's just three of us.
Yeah.
We weren't saying anything to anybody, but you had a group of fraternity white boys with a bunch of chicks trying to show the fuck off because
Yeah.
I was wearing a LeVar Arrington jersey. They're like, yo, you know your boy's hurt, right? So I turn around, I put my hands up. I was like, I'm not.
Oh,
And
everybody-
very much to say about that.
Everybody's like,
oh.
everybody's like, yeah. So I was like, shut the fuck up. And then we move on. We get to the game. Now, mind you, I make it inside the game with my weapon, so I have a weapon on me. You know, I don't fuck around, you know. I've been around in America a long time. I'm not gonna go into an all-white place, not armed. All right. So
Better
let's
station.
just-
Sorry. No, I get it.
So I'm strapped. We get in there. Now, Marcus and I, we love sports. We're Giant fans, but we're fans of players in the NFL.
Yeah.
We're
Correct.
sitting there.
Correct.
Marcus and I are having a good discussion about the Jacksonville players. We're saying nothing derogatory about the Jacksonville. There were two punk ass motherfuckers too. They were toothless too. Two of them sitting in front of us talking cash shit. I mean, like cash shit about the Giants. You know, they didn't reference black people yet because I would have just stabbed them right there.
Yeah,
they
they
were
know
just-
about it. And
Yeah, they were just insinuating certain shit. So
they're not
what
trying
I
to push
do,
that button just yet. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So me, I like to take things to where it needs to go right then. I don't need to go through levels. Anyone that knows me knows this about
do the
me.
bullshit.
0 to 100.
Yeah. Me-
0 to 100.
I'm first gear or sixth gear. You prefer to have me in first gear. In first gear, I'm good. Once I'm in
could be
sixth
dope.
gear,
Wow.
Yeah.
be careful.
Now, let me let you know, though. I don't know if you know. I was ready, though.
Oh, I know
If
you
it
were,
went
bro.
down,
I know you were.
I don't care.
But
I don't
even if
care.
you guys weren't, I was ready to put on a show. You know what I'm saying? I was ready to put on a show. All right. So, Sean, I lean in because you know how the seating is in these fucking stadiums. So
Oh, yeah.
I lean in between both these motherfuckers. And I basically let them know that I hate men. I hate people who try to portray men when they're really not because all I smell is pussy. So I said, I dare. So I said, I dare one of you motherfuckers to say something again. I said, I'm waiting. I said, that's what the fuck I thought, bitch. And I sit back. Those two motherfuckers had nothing to say after that. Mind
They
you,
wanted to be
they-
friends after that.
oh, they bought us drinks after that. They bought us
yeah,
drinks
they wanted
after
to be
that.
friends.
Now, a couple of rows behind me, some cocksucker is calling, I forget what Giant player he was calling a pedophile or rapist, all sorts of shit. Now, I can give a fuck what you're calling these guys on the field. That doesn't hurt my fucking feelings. But then some of those comments were directed towards me. Now you're making it personal. So I got up. I turned around. I said, hey, dude, I got a cold blade in my pocket that needs warming up. I dare you to say one more motherfucking word. I fucking dare you. And I looked at everybody else in the section, and I said, any one of you toothless fucks want to join in? I'll slit your fucking throat too. I said, do I have any takers? Any takers? I said, that's what the fuck I thought. So shut the fuck up. For the rest of the game, all that hooting and hollering that was going on in our section, anytime Jacksonville did something.
It's quiet as hell.
Okay. And the dudes that were sitting in front of us bought us drinks the rest of the motherfucking night. Nobody wanted it. And then the dude that was sitting next to me, and the dude that was sitting, he's like, hey, thanks, dude, because my son didn't need to hear what that motherfucker was saying. I said, hey, he told me, he was like, hey, you know, we're not all like that. I said, nah, I just have to make a point. He's like, hey, man. And he bought us a drink. So
I've always been told, man, if you need to make a point, make that point fucking strong. Don't have to make it again.
Yeah, usually that's how
that's true.
And Sean,
There's defense and strength.
I like to fight. So anybody, you know, I've always told folks, title shots are always open. I'm not Floyd Mayweather. I'm not going to avoid you. You want it, come get it. It's not going to end well for you. It's not going to end well for you. Even if I know you're physically stronger, I can guarantee you it's not going to end well for you.
Yeah, the whole
You
situation.
want it, well, come get it.
I like that you called him out though too, because look, and everybody, I feel like everybody's starting to get to that point with social media. Everybody talks all that shit now. So they don't think that somebody's going to come back and say something. They think everybody's going to be a pussy about it. So they'll sit there and push on people, and they'll push on this person, and they'll push on that person. But it pisses me off because I sit there and I look from the outside looking in. I'm like, what if that was my people? Like, what if that was my mom or my dad, like that you stepped up to? I can't let you keep doing that arbitrarily because you're going to eventually hit somebody I love. So I'm going to stop it now. I'm going to have to, I'll be the one to say something. Like, everybody starts getting in this bubble, like, oh, nobody's going to say anything. Bitch, I will, and I'll fucking end it with fucking action.
Yes.
Like, that's the thing. There's so many people that, you know what I'm saying? And it's even to the point, I mean, obviously, you know, that's taking it to the next level. But even when you tell them, hey, man, I'm right here. I'm the problem. Y'all want to step up? If that entire section was like, hey, man, we're going to deal with this as a group, that's scary. But there ain't a single goddamn person, because you get inside the head like that. There's not a single person that's like, I'm not going to jump. I'm not going to be the first motherfucker.
I don't want to get stabbed.
No. It's like, we like take them out. But I value everybody. I was watching this thing the other day. They were talking to a SEAL. They were talking to a SEAL, and they were said the biggest thing that they worry about is, they'll bring you to the brink of death. But the reason why they do that in their training is because they want to know when the shit hits the fan, can you be we over me? You know what I'm saying? And nobody, 99% of the public does not have that. They will not stand up and say, you know what, guys, we're strong. And everybody's all about themselves, and they'll stand up and say, well, I don't want to get stabbed. Fuck that.
How does every television show that, what I told you with the zombie thing, it ain't the zombies you got to worry about. It's everybody else.
Oh, yeah,
when everybody can say how they feel now, but you're not hungry. You have a place to sleep.
Right.
So you have no idea. Now, from experience, I've had...
We watch those shows. That's why they make us watch those shows, Al, so they can tell us how they want us to react, or they can see how we're going to react. And when you get the masses to watch the show, I mean, my wife has watched that show through probably 3 or 4 times. You know what I mean? And when I tell you, went through times when she prep bot and taught the kids what to do in the event of zombie apocalypse.
I did
and
too.
Taught them how to. I know you did.
I
Al.
still got I still got a little bag that I can.
Yeah, listen, we have meetup points from here to the coast. And I'm not playing with you.
We're so jaded living here and so protected. Like, you know, they used to have to hunt to eat, and I think about that all the time. Like, if there wasn't stores and we had to go back to hunting to eat. Man, we've been taken away from the shit for so long that I guarantee you 9 out of 10 want to make it. Like, there's no way.
Oh yeah.
And it's not their fault. It's nobody's fault. because we have that convenience. We've made it to the point. It's like when you take a fucking killer whale and you put it in SeaWorld. You can't put that bitch back in the ocean.
Oh, absolutely not. You can't do that with the monkeys either. Since we all lived in Florida at this particular time, I'll take you guys back to this. Hurricane Charlie. Most folks didn't have power for a long time. People were on the verge of shooting one another over ice. Okay, I repeat.
Oh, yeah.
Ice.
And other things.
Yeah. Specs.
So God forbid shit really hit the fan and there's no fix to it. You will really see the true color of people, which is why I said in that episode, if you're not my friend and you're not family that I love, on sight, I kill you and I take what you have. No question asked, nothing. I kill you on sight.
No, but you have to assume that other people are going to think that way as well. So
they've shown their true
the only way
selves
you can
already.
think.
They've shown their true selves already.
Man, I tried to convince people over and over again when The Walking Dead came on, and now don't get me wrong, it ran a little long, but for the first couple seasons, I was into it, and everybody's like, oh, it's a zombie. Honestly, that's the period piece. It's set during a zombie apocalypse. It's not about the zombies at all. That's kind of the background.
No.
But it's about how these motherfuckers are going to treat each other and how they set up like that. That's why.
Yeah.
And how we sort of do like a mini colonization thing, how that all plays out and goes down. And not just that, how we start to really I mean, look, man, it started with The Matrix, and you can take it all the way into the stuff that we're experiencing today, just like The Walking Dead, is that, you know, we as a society have to use these things to figure out how to coexist versus, you know, be enemies all the time now. I think that's the key to that. And then, yeah, like you said, make your crew now.
Fight it out.
What I mean, make your colony now.
Get it out of our system.
You know,
you're in the crew there, Sean. You're in the crew. I will not shoot on sight, brother. I will not shoot on sight.
Survivor is a perfect example. Take a zombie thing away from the element of it and take Survivor. Survivor is more of a realistic look at it. Granted, it's a little bit on the level of like playing poker with a chip set, where that's not really representing real money. Like, you know, we've done several times. We busted. Okay, you still play poker, but you're not quite using real money, so there's not that exact fear of loss being the same.
It's a social experiment.
Survivor is definitely a social experiment on how people will go. And what I like, and anyone you know that's close to me that discuss anything that I may watch on television will tell you, I started watching Survivor later on, and still take away the same thing from it all. We deceive when we get into those scenarios. Like you said, some people get the mentality that if you're coming close and getting close to my shit, and I don't know who you are or why you're there, I don't need to know why. Right? That's your approach.
In my head, I already know why. Now, you know, I know.
And then,
go ahead.
No,
I'm sorry.
I was just going to add the one last little part of it to reference it to Walking Dead is the name of that first little town was Woodbury, right? I didn't get into it as much, but it's called Woodbury, right? That first little town that they started coming across. You saw how the people started being. You know, that's one of my fears as well. Like, not necessarily violence, because I can meet violence with violence. And if you train your people how to defend themselves and such and such, we can do that.
With Woodbury, it was more
communities of craziness.
With Woodbury, they were more sheep. It was with the saviors that they were more violent. You know, but those sheep could actually end up being worse than what the saviors were because they're sheep.
Because of the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Exactly. Like, I know we veered off football. You had mentioned Hamlin earlier. I wanted to get I wanted to get a little bit of a gripe out because of TikTok. TikTok took my Damar Hamlin video down because of a question that I asked. The question that I asked was, did we witness a death on the field? Now, we all know we witnessed a motherfucking death on the field. Now, they'll like to feed us. They'll like to feed us the scenario that they resuscitated him. But yeah, fuck the bullshit. He died. We know he's dead. And we know what they got walking around is not what had a heart attack on the field. because Damar Hamlin is back playing football again.
And
How's
let's
that
face it,
so?
Sean and I have had very lengthy discussions about this for rightful reasons.
Well, not that all those weird videos that they showed us where he's in silhouette.
Yeah, it's not him. He's trying. And you could tell his physique doesn't match.
Okay,
motherfucker
okay,
that-
I'll co-sign that. That was weird. Like when he first
was
came
super
back
weird.
to
So
the
like a
game,
week-
it didn't make any sense. I was like, why
Bro,
are they
he was
doing
through
this?
the
Like,
snow, through the
Yeah.
snow, showing the silhouette.
Yeah.
Like, oh look,
Mhm.
Damar Hamlin. I said, no, the fuck
Yeah.
he's
That's
not.
bullshit.
Then show me his face. Show me his face.
yeah,
No, it's
that
not.
was weird. Yeah,
And
that
then
was
when
weird.
asked the
That didn't make
question,
any sense.
when asked the question, I forget who was it that was interviewing him. He's like, "Oh, I don't want to talk about it." Like, dude,
Bro, listen, we can go down the rabbit hole with this. Let me put you at one other one. Let me put you one other one. Kanye West very well might have died in that car accident.
he is dead. You have little Kanye
died.
and big Kanye. Okay,
He died.
I've been trying to
He
tell
died in
these
that car
people that.
accident.
Yes,
He died in that car accident. Through the wire. That was when they brought him in. Boop, 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 switch.
Oh,
I
Really?
Dave
guarantee-
Chappelle. Dave Chappelle died when he
That
took that
dude-
trip to Africa.
That
Okay.
dude talks way weird.
yeah.
That dude talks way weirder than
Thank
he
you,
used to, bro.
Sean.
He's a deep
Thank you,
voice.
Sean.
He is a deep voice, big dude, bro. That was not Dave Chappelle. Go back and watch Blue Street.
Thank you, Sean. And you know what
I
everybody
proved
tells
heck
me? You want to know what everybody? Oh, yo, he shot up steroids and he's working out. I'm like, no, dude. I've been around folks who have taken cycles upon cycles of steroids. I know what steroids changes in you. And let me tell you one thing. It doesn't make your voice from what Chappelle was to what it is now. So yeah,
Oh, it's so
you
different.
miss me with that
weird.
bullshit. The Rock,
Bro, he's way
we can-
different. It's
yeah.
weird.
But to go back into football, the Giants suck. I was almost ashamed to be a Giants fan.
man.
Daniel
man.
Jones
Listen,
played
I'm
like
not
a. Hey, you know what my wife said?
I'm
My
not
wife
gonna-
said, "Hey, Daniel
That was a
Jones
good
played
segue.
well enough last year to get a new contract. That way he can fuck it up this year." You know what? That's how he played last night. I
I'm not
actually
gonna-
believe
okay,
it.
how about
I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
I wanted
As
this
a Giants fan, I won't go there.
I
It's
said
too
I can't.
far. It was a bad week, bro. We got our asses kicked. They beat the shit out of us in every which way. But I can't sit here and think that the Giants are
You're gonna
just
put it on coaching?
well,
or
like the
playing?
worst team in the league.
I'm not going to put it all
Oh,
on
it was
Daniel
all
Jones.
the players.
I'm not going to put it all
I'm
on
gonna
Daniel
put some
Jones.
of that. No, I'm gonna put some of that on the coaching because I felt like they weren't giving him.
How much
They
decision
weren't giving him the
they
plays to
letting
get
him
out
do?
of it.
Because I
Yeah,
didn't think he
exactly.
was thinking this place. He wasn't like, you know how when a person, it doesn't matter what they're doing, whether it's a football player or whatever. He didn't look like he was I don't know, like he didn't think it was the best decision on some of those
Mhm.
plays. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that shows in the result. When you're like, well, I don't
Whoa.
really think this is what I should be doing, but fuck it, I'll do
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? Like that kind of, I saw that a lot with that.
But the
And
first
I was like,
half-
that's why I made the joke to you. Yeah.
The first half,
Bro,
when
the
you watch
first
the
two
Giants,
series.
they haven't fixed their problem.
Mhm.
The offensive line has been an issue since the last Super Bowl and continues to be an issue because the second Daniel Jones has the ball in his hands, there's a defender in his face.
But bro, that first series, they power ran the ball and it was working. They got away from it. But once you saw how Parsons and Lawrence were in the backfield, you got to switch up the game plan. We need to run the ball.
They
We need
can't.
to slants, screens. Like, we got to get the ball out of his hands quick because we
It's-
can't block that. So,
It's very easy to play coach. It's very easy to like coach the plays and then what they should be running and all of that. I think what this is here is it's never really, it's the scheme. This is 2023. Let me tell you the difference.
uh-huh.
You can run the ball, but your priority
Uh-huh.
needs to be in not stopping, beating down their fucking throat football. That's not only what sells your tickets and your merchandise, it's also
Uh-huh.
what wins you games and championships. We're seeing it over and over, left and right. That's why the hybrid quarterback is where it's at. That's why running backs don't get paid no fucking money because fuck the run. The job for the backs is to block and to be an RPO option, to be receivers. You need to be able to catch the ball. You know, running backs that can't catch the ball, you're
No,
only
yeah.
half as good. You know what I mean?
Patrick
Like, you know,
Mahomes and
I'm
Tyreek
not
Hill
thinking-
changed the way the game is played. People
But
need to catch
listen,
up and match it.
I 100% agree with that. But when you don't have the personnel to
True.
fulfill it, you have to
that's for
switch
sure.
it up.
That's for sure.
That
You know
offensive
what I
line,
mean? Like,
that offensive
our
line is
O-line
garbage.
can't block.
No,
No,
they
I'm
can't.
not going to say that we're that bad, but you look at the Cowboys' defense is fantastic. So that was a big test. We failed it.
They have a great
Visibly.
line. They have a
But
great line.
Yeah.
And you're right, Daniel
Yeah.
didn't get a lot of time. But you know what I mean? I
He
said
didn't
that about Miami for
he
the
didn't have time.
first season and a half. That was the reason he was getting put on his ass every
Yeah.
time. I mean, so I understand where you're coming from.
No.
By the way, 305, baby. 305, number one team in the league, baby.
And it's crazy because they added all those weapons, but we didn't even get to utilize them
Nah, we didn't.
because
Nah,
we
we
had
didn't.
no time to do anything.
No, we
Yeah,
didn't.
it's-
Linens.
Hey,
There's
folks.
16 left, man.
That's all the
Mhm.
time we have. I'd like to thank Rick and Sean for joining us this evening. If you guys are looking for any artwork, please check out my nephew Nate. You'll find his info in our bio.
And make sure to check out NISH, the producer of our intro track. The track is called Trap Sex. You can find his music on SoundCloud and YouTube.
Yes, sir. So from Sean, Rick, Marcus, and Al, peace.